Hey everybody, it's Pastor Dan here today. I just wanted to take a couple minutes and connect with you and share a couple thoughts I had. I'm also going to type these thoughts up and put them in our newsletter, so maybe you've already read them by the time this video comes out. But it's been almost 7 long months since COVID-19 has caused our church to suspend in-person worship, and boy, it wasn't long after that our lives in this country really changed. In March, we were warned by the scientists that things weren't going to return to normal until maybe the end of 2021 or even later. And it's been a struggle since then. And many days, I've been sitting here and I just empathize with the millions of Americans whose lives are never going to be the same again. And I think about the families of the over 200,000 people who have perished in just the United States alone from COVID-19. And I think about our local friends and neighbors and family members that we're never going to get to see again because of this horrible virus. And I pray for my friends and the strangers that have found themselves in the ICU and in the hospitals because of this. And my heart's broken because I hear about the survivors that can't walk across their own living room anymore without being short of breath because of the long-term effects that this virus has had on them. For many of us, things are going to return to normal someday, but for a whole lot of people, things are never going to be normal again. And things haven't really returned to normal around here, but as I look out my office window, I see more people walking down the street. I see full baseball fields in Mifflin here, full parking lots at the bars and businesses, yard sales and barbecues every weekend. And I think whenever we see these little bits and pieces of our normal life start to come back, man, it makes us yearn for the normal way of life even more. Sometimes it even tempts us to throw caution to the wind and return to that once familiar routine that we always had. And part of that familiar routine for many was church. And church was something that was comfortable and consistent for us. And things in the church, they typically don't change fast if they change at all. The church is usually open almost every week. The church is open. We can attend church. We can go to that place of comfort, of security, of safety, and have things be the same. And then March 2020 happened, and that familiar consistency that we love so much, it went away. And the church leadership and myself, we know how important worship is and community is to our people. And during this year, people have understandably desired to be in church. People have become hungrier for God than they ever were before. And the church saw that. We recognized your needs, and immediately in March, we tried to develop a plan to bring worship online through YouTube. We offered devotions, fellowship time, prayer time, Bible study through the Google Meet video service, and with a telephone call-in number for those that didn't have internet. We tried to keep everybody connected by sending written devotions through the mail to those that didn't have internet. We had an awesome virtual VBS program. We've tried to keep the ministries alive. We've connected with our youth. We've encouraged our members to connect and call each other. We've relaunched in-person worship now at the Grace Church, and we're outdoors and starting a drive-in service here at Trinity. And our entire fellowship is hungry for church. We all want to sit together. We want the full church experience. We want to devour that meal that is church because we are starving. But at this time, it's just not possible, friends. But the church isn't going to let you starve. The church is going to provide the manna that you need. We're going to give you all that we can until that time that we can return to full worship. But in the meantime, friends, we need your grace, we need your patience, and we need your understanding. So please be open to God's Spirit and the new forms of worship that we have to offer at this time. And I want to share with you a passage from Numbers 21, 4-6. It says, they traveled from Mount Hor along the route to the Red Sea to go to Edom. But the people grew impatient on the way, and they spoke against God and against Moses. They said, why have you brought us out of Egypt to die in the wilderness? There is no bread. There is no water. We detest this miserable food. Then the Lord sent venomous snakes among them, and they bit the people, and many Israelites died. I know you're hungry. I know you're hungry, friends. If you're upset that we're not back to full worship, I implore you, consider joining us for the worship services that we are allowed to have, whether that's online, in person, drive-in, whatever we can do. I just implore you to be a part of it. View this different time of worship as an opportunity to experience God in a new way. Let us view worship as the blessing that it is, lest we miss the miracle that God's providing us. If we miss the miracle, if we complain about what we have, it doesn't end well. And the last thing we need in 2020 is God sending us a bunch of venomous snakes. I hope everybody's well. God bless you. I hope to see you on Sunday. And remember, friends, do no harm, do good, and stay in love with God.